Okay, some things I think about a lot is like who would win in different survival horror universes or just like game universes in general. So let's go through the results I got on my IG story. So, starting first, who would win between zombies from Resident Evil or feral ghouls from Fallout? Most people voted for feral ghouls, which I agree. I think that you get one irradiated, glowing one in a horde of zombies. They would probably just irradiate the zombies, and then we have a bigger problem. So, next we have the rad roaches from Fallout, Pyramid Heads roaches from Silent Hill 2, or the scarabs from The Mummy. So less people obviously voted for Pyramid Heads roaches, but because they kind of swarm as well, like the scarabs from The Mummy, I thought they might actually be a decent contender. And then the rad roaches are actually at an advantage because of their size. However, I actually vote for the scarabs from The Mummy because they are able to burrow into like skin and other things, and I think that what would happen was they would just burrow into the rad roaches and just like eliminate them from the inside out. However, if there are irradiated rad roaches, because they are already rad roaches, they're probably going to irradiate the scarabs, and then we're just going to have a bigger problem. Next, we have a dragon from Skyrim or a scorch beast from Fallout. Everyone voted for the dragon over the scorch beast. I guess so. I think that the fight would be pretty much toe to toe, but these are just standard dragons, not like Parthenax or anything or Alduin. Like, we're not getting like into the big boys. But I think this fight would be a very interesting fight. This one's one of my favorites. So, between the Licker from Resident Evil or a Leaper from Dead Space. Most of y'all voted for the Licker. However, I do think the Leaper has more of an advantage because not only is it capable of surviving in space, you have to delimb that shit. So you got to take it off limb by limb, otherwise it's still going. Now, we know, like, in the Lickers, you could throw some acid at it, or, you know, throw a flash grenade, and it's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I actually think the Necromorph has a bigger advantage over the Licker. But who knows? I think watching them fight would be very interesting. Okay, now for the Battle of Spiders. We had Shelob from Lord of the Rings, big ass spider from Resident Evil Requiem, and the Frostbite spider from Skyrim. Shelob won this by a landslide. Yeah, she's pretty powerful. I would say Shelob versus the Requiem spider might be kind of interesting to see. Now, a Frostbite spider, you can one-shot that with an arrow. You know, honestly, they're really not that crazy. But, I mean, big-ass spiders in general scare the hell out of me. So, this one's good. This is good. Another good one. So, strong builds, right? Between a Xenomorph from Aliens or a Necromorph, specifically the Ubermorph from Dead Space, who would win? So, most of y'all voted for a Xenomorph. Understandably so. It's a pretty powerful organism, right? However, the few of you that voted for the Ubermorph, you know ball. Because this is pretty fucking immortal. Essentially, it just continues to regenerate over and over again, no matter how much you delimit or, like, break it down. So, I would be curious to see what would happen if a Xenomorph and an Ubermorph fought each other, and maybe the Xenomorph's acid blood got on it and, like, melted it down. Would it regenerate? I don't know. Or possibly, because it's a Necromorph, it would just kill the Xenomorph and become something else, and we have a bigger problem. For our final battle, the girls are fighting. 2 girls made in the lab. Who would win? So we have Bunny from the Powerpuff Girls, and then we have the girl from Resident Evil Requiem. So Bunny won by a landslide, which I agree. She is at an advantage. She is able to be in the sun and, like, not have to stay in the dark. So I think she would actually just grab her and fly her out of the building and just let her melt in the sun, for all we know. But yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Follow me for more if you like gaming discussions like this. I'm a 3D and mixed reality designer and game developer, and this is just stuff I think about all the time. And I was just like, who would win? So, yeah, thank you. And please share more of your thoughts. If you have any other creatures that you would like battle, let's talk about it.